She was born Norma Jean Mortensen, a girl without a father she could call her own, a childhood in foster homes and orphanages. Then she became an icon, Marilyn Monroe. But behind the platinum hair and the dazzling smile lay shadows of abuse, addiction, power struggles, and ultimately a death that still ignites controversy. Before we start, please like this video and subscribe if you'd like to hear more unusual stories. This is the story of life and death of Marilyn Monroe. Childhood and early years, 1926 to 1942. June 1st, 1926. In Los Angeles General Hospital, a baby girl is born. Her name was recorded as Norma Jean Mortensen. Her mother, Gladys Pearl Baker, was unable to care for her full-time. Norma Jean never knew her father's identity with certainty. From very early on, she moved between foster homes and the state system. Her mother was committed to psychiatric care. At age 7, after a stable spell with the Bollender family ended, she returned to foster care. In the early 1940s, industry wartime America, the 16-year-old Norma Jean left high school and married a neighbor, James Dougherty, in 1942, partly to avoid returning to an orphanage. Working in a wartime munitions factory, she was discovered as a model, and the path to Hollywood began. Already the dissonance, the girl who moves through institutions, the woman who will hypnotize the world. Rise to Hollywood and reinvention, 1942 to 1953. After marrying Dougherty and working the factory, Norma began modeling and signed a film contract in 1946 with 20th Century Fox. She changed her name to Marilyn Monroe, the surname taken from her mother's maiden name. Her early film roles were small, almost anonymous. But slowly, the starlet emerged. In 1950, she appears in serious films like The Asphalt Jungle and All About Eve, demonstrating that she wanted more than just being the blonde bombshell. In 1953, two major turning points: Niagara, her first big dramatic lead, and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, cementing the X symbol image. But behind the fame, she struggled with self-esteem, anxiety, and a relentless studio machine that typecast her. When she dyed her hair platinum blonde, it became part of persona. In reality, the transformation came with pressure and insecurity. There were some interesting anecdotes that her friends shared in interviews. A little insight to her mind. One of Marilyn's friends, Amy Green, wife of photographer Milton Green, recalled a walk with Marilyn in New York. Marilyn said, "Do you want to see me become her?" And then, in an instant, switched from a plain-clothed Norma Jean mode into full Marilyn glamour. Suddenly, people turned their heads. Cars slowed. The friend said she'd never seen anything like it. It shows Marilyn's conscious control of her star persona. It's funny, odd, because she seemed to flip a switch and become someone else. It's a strong anecdote, but comes via a Reddit account quoting secondhand memory. She was always ready, calling in her star power for Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald later recalled that Marilyn used her fame to help her when Ella was being blocked from a nightclub because she wasn't considered glam enough. Marilyn personally called the owner, told him I would take a front table every night. The press would go wild. The owner relented. Ella got the booking. It's less comedic and more kind, but shows Marilyn's behind-the-scenes sense of humor and power. The front table guaranteed bit is memorable. Among her habits, Marilyn often carried around a huge book, a dictionary or encyclopedia, even when she was dressed glamorously. According to her friend actress Shelley Winters, Marilyn would do that. Winters described Marilyn as always wore a halter dress one size too small and carried around a big library book like a dictionary or encyclopedia. It also hints she was trying to prove her seriousness intellect. According to trivia sources, Marilyn was so fearful of blemishes or sweat that she washed her face up to 15 times a day. That's a bit shocking for the extent of it. It's funny because of the excess, but sad in that it shows anxiety. In a story Marilyn told, she once went on a date because a friend asked her to. They were out swimming on a beach. The man kept poking her leg fat and saying how he liked girls you could feel the bone. She told him, "If you like my bones so much, I'll have an X-ray picture made up for you." He didn't laugh and moved away. Marilyn's longtime makeup man, Alan Whitey Snyder, recalled that Marilyn once told him, when she was in a depressed mood, that he must do her makeup when I die. Later, she gave him a watch inscribed, "While I'm still warm, Marilyn." Several friends said Marilyn could turn off the star persona and just be Norma Jean in casual clothes, no makeup, unnoticed. One story, in New York, she loved wearing plain clothes because no one bothered her like they did in Hollywood. But when she decided she could become Marilyn and attract attention, in an interview, Marilyn joked about her marital status. When asked about her relationship with Joe DiMaggio, she said she had no wedding plans in the near future. As for Joe DiMaggio, that's very private. Put that friendly in quotes. It shows she played with the press. Another anecdote. Marilyn, Milton Green's wife, and a friend were in a taxi. When they pulled up at Marilyn's hotel, there were about 5 million people outside. The taxi driver turned around and said to them, "Hey, you know who's in that hotel?" Referring to Marilyn. The friend said Marilyn had loved that moment. A more minor anecdote. Marilyn reportedly would wear certain styles, like halter dresses one size too small, to compensate for feeling her body was more boyish or flat-chested. Winters described this in her memoirs. Note on reliability and shocking material. Many of these stories come from friends' memoirs or interviews, but over time, details can be embellished. She adopted a breathy, sultry voice, but that voice had a backstory. As a child, she had a stutter, and the voice became a tool. By mid-1950s, she was Hollywood's golden girl. Yet the golden exterior masked deeper turmoil. In 1954, she married Joe DiMaggio, the famed baseball star. A marriage that lasted just 9 months. In 1956, she earned critical praise for Bus Stop, a film that showed she had more than just glamorous looks. She was striving for real acting. She formed her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions, to wrest control of her career. A bold move in a studio-dominated era. Personal life. In 1956, she married the playwright Arthur Miller. That marriage lasted until 1961, but all the while her health was fragile. She took barbiturates and amphetamines, suffered from insomnia, and her reputation on set suffered due to tardiness, inability to remember lines, issues often rooted in deeper emotional wounds. Controversy. The dumb blonde persona she often played conflicted with who she was trying to become. She resented being pigeonholed, and the glare of the public spotlight, the sexualization, the rumors, the power, it all weighed heavily. As the 1960s dawned, Marilyn's career started to wobble. She was cast in The Misfits, 1961, her final completed film. Behind the scenes, she battled severe emotional distress. She developed a dependency on sleeping pills and other drugs. Her marriage to Arthur Miller broke down. She was fired in 1962 by 20th Century Fox from the film Something's Got to Give. In May 1962, she gave her unforgettable performance, singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President for John F. Kennedy, wearing a now legendary nude tone gown. Rumors swirled of her associations with Kennedy and his brother Robert, generating speculation and intrigue. She bought a home at 12,305 Fifth Helena Drive in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles earlier in 1962, the only house she ever owned. But pressure, insecurity, and addiction were mounting. August 4th, or early hours of August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe's housekeeper, Eunice Murray, discovered her body locked in her bedroom around 3 a.m. The psychiatrist, Ralph Greenson, arrived, broke a window and found her dead. Official coroner's verdict: probable suicide due to acute barbiturate poisoning, but the story did not end there. The death triggered a flood of conspiracy theories. Some pointed to her alleged associations with John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy, others to mob connections. Investigations in 1982 found no new evidence to overturn the original verdict. It remains unresolved in the public imagination. Was it suicide? Accidental overdose? Foul play? The image of the blonde star at 36, fallen by herself in a suddenly silent house, it became legendary. Let's pause for the details that shock. As a child, she was raped at age 11. Her mother's mental illness haunted the home. Some grandparents institutionalized. She underwent heavy bleaching to become platinum blonde. Her hair roots were touched every few weeks. Despite her glamorous image, she kept a library of over 400 books on literature, poetry, philosophy. She negotiated with studios to gain control of her career, rare for actresses at the time. The night of her death, she had been in contact with several visitors, had taken large amounts of barbiturates. Some claim an ambulance was called earlier, that her body was moved lots of conflicting timelines. The only house she ever owned is now a historic landmark in Los Angeles. All of those experiences formed her life. Even today, her image continues to reverberate: art, fashion, culture. But the sadness behind the smile persists. Marilyn Monroe's life was a collision of dreams and despair. The girl who never had a stable family, who built a persona of light and glamour, yet carried darkness inside. She reached heights of fame few ever will, yet the cost was immense. At 36, she left the world, but not before raising questions about power, control, identity, gender, stardom, and human fragility. Her death remains a mirror for the world of celebrity, for the world of women in power, for the fragile human cost behind a public facade. The blonde icon may be gone, but Marilyn's story, shining, broken, unforgettable, remains. Thank you for joining this journey through the life and death of Marilyn Monroe.